Hey you YouTubers, welcome. This is Nova here today, and I'm bringing you my second deck profile. My first one was on a just a gimmicky Amazonas deck. This next one is actually one that I do use in tournaments. It is a Phantom Knights deck. So without further ado, I got these in order of importance from every single type. So got to do this quick. First up is Fragile Armor. Special summon them from hand when a Phantom Knights monster is destroyed by a battle or card effect by your opponent. Run 3 of those, and in graveyard you can banish him, discard a Phantom Knights card, spell trap or monster, and draw 1 card. So, draw power. Silent Boots, got a Phantom Knight monster on the field, special summon him, banish him, and search for Phantom Knight trap spell. Either or. Ancient Cloak. Banish from grave, search for the Phantom Knights card, spell, trap, or monster. But there's only one spell that has that, which is the new rank up magic. If he's on the field, you can turn him to defense position to give 1 dark monster 800 attack and defense. Ragged Gloves, it's a banish and then Foolish Burial any Phantom Knights spell trap monster. If it's using a Dark Exceed, it gives 1000 attack to that monster. And every single one of their effects is once per turn. Next up is Necrophase. Normal summoned, return all banished cards, yours and your opponent's, to the deck. Shuffle, and then it gains 100 attack for every card returned. If it's banished, both players banish the top 5 cards. Brow, if he's discarded, draw 1 card. Discarded by opponent, draw 2 cards. Fabled Raven, you can discard any number of cards. He gains level and 400 attack for every card that you discarded. And I wish I had a second shiny Raven. Next up is Wings. Run 3 Wings. Wings gives 500 attack per minute to the monster that's targeted, and then the first time it would be destroyed this turn. It's not, basically, just a save. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, special summon a Phantom Knight monster. Every one of their traps that's in here does that. Fogblade, target a effect monster. It loses its effect, can't attack, and cannot be targeted for an attack. So if it's already being targeted for the attack will still go through. Next up is Sword. Gives 800 attack while it's face up on the field, and if the monster it's targeting would be destroyed, you can destroy Sword instead, plus banish and special summon out Phantom Knight from grave. Solemn Warning. That's kind of self-explanatory. These are my proxies for the new rank up magic. Rank up magic, the Phantom Knights of launch. What it does is you are allowed to target 1 Dark Exceed monster on your side of the field with no materials. Use that card and this one as material for a Exceed summon of a monster 1 rank higher. So if you choose a level 3, you get a level 4 Dark Exceed. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, you can do it with, where is it? Where's a... I do not have him here. Why do I not have him here? Ophion. There he is. So, Ophion needs L Swarms, right? But if you use the rank up magic, you don't need L Swarms in your deck. So you're allowed to use the Ophion in your extra deck in a Phantom Knight. If this card is in the graveyard, you're allowed to banish it, take 1 Phantom Knights monster from your graveyard, and attach it as materials to an Exceed monster on your side of the field. That comes in super handy later on, and I'll show you why later. Chaos Zone. So, while it's on the field, if you banish anything, it gains counters for everything banished. Then you can attach 4 or more special summon from your banished 1 monster with the exact level of how many counters you used. So unfortunately it's 4 higher. Fragile Armor for draw. If it's destroyed while it has counters, or sent to the graveyard while it has counters, you can search your deck for a light or dark monster with a level less than or equal to the amount of counters that were on it when it was sent to the graveyard. Terraforming, because I don't have a second one. Burial from a different dimension, so return 3 banished monsters to your graveyard. Self-explanatory why. Regeki, destroy all your opponent's monsters. Dark Will dealings, both draw 1, discard 1. And I got 3 of those. Twin Twister, so discard 1, destroy 2 spell and trap cards. Allure of Darkness, draw 2, banish a dark from your hand, or if you don't have any, send entire hand to grave. Shuffle Reborn. Now, this one is not the least important. It's actually closer to the top, but it's down at the bottom because of how long it takes to read it out. So, what Shuffle Reborn does is, if you control no monsters, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated, and you banish it during the end phase. Exceed Fodder. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 card you control. That can be Dante if it has no materials, or it can be a Fogblade that you don't have a Twin Twister to get rid of, and it's equipped onto one of your monsters or your opponent's, and has caused a wall that nobody can get over, or neither person can get by or deal with. So return a Dante, return a Fogblade, and you draw 1 card. And then at the end phase, you have to banish 1 card from your hand. But if you just set everything, play everything in your hand, and got no hand, well, it doesn't pop off, eh? Next up is the extra deck, and these are in order by rank. So first up is Utopic Future. Can't be destroyed by battle, no battle damage, and steals any monster that it performs battle with, attacked or attacks. If it would be destroyed, you can detach 1 material and you special summon it out by using two Exceed monsters with the same rank. So 2 level 3s, 2 Dantes, good to go. Breaksword, basically a scrap dragon. So detach 1 material, destroy 1 monster on your, or 1 card on your side of the field and 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. Works really well with wings, because wings will protect whatever Breaksword is destroying. Super, right? And I run 2 of those just because of budget. 3 Dantes, and one of them's the Icky Gold version. Dante, detach 1, and then you mill on 1, 2, 3. 1 to 3 cards from the top of your deck, and then he gains 500 for each. If he's sent to the graveyard, you can return 1 Burning Abyss card back to your hand. Now, there's no Burning Abyss in here, so you just bounce Dantes around. Lavera the Sea Dragon, return 1 level 4, or special summon 1 level 4 lower banished monster. Fortune Tune, gain 500 during your standby. Detach if it would be destroyed, and if it is sent to the graveyard, you can bounce 2 level 3 monsters from your graveyard back to your deck and bounce him back to deck. Dark Rebellion, half an opponent's monster's attack, gain that half to his attack. Uses 2 Exceed materials, which is usually for the rank up magic, but Nightmare, detach 1, flip, special summon monsters face down. So if your opponent special summons a monster, detach, and it gets flipped face down. Really good against pendulums. Thanatos, really good against Cosmos. Pair him up with swords. Detach 1, he's unaffected by monster effects. 2350 beat stick plus the swords puts him at 3150. So crossover, beat over Dark Destroy. Ophion, can't special summon level 5s. Search for an infestation if I had it. Detach 1, search for an infestation. Heart Earth. So Heart Earth, detach 1 material if it would be destroyed, and then if it is attacked, it gains attack equal to the attacking monster's attack for that turn. So whatever attacks it first that turn, it gains that much plus 100. It's always going to be 100 over the first thing that attacks it. And then if it's destroyed by a card effect while it has no materials, you special summon out the last motherfucker on our list. So this is Heart Earth Dragon. Now, Heart Earth Dragon can't be destroyed by battle. Your opponent takes all battle damage, has 0 attack. Let that sink in for a sec. Okay, so at your opponent's end phase, okay, at your opponent's end phase, if this card has material, you can attach the material and then banish all special summon, normal summon, and set cards your opponent has played this turn. So kiss that, Monarchs and Trap decks. Bergs, I'm looking at you. Well, they're the Paleozoic now. Oh well. But what's really good about this is that you can use its effect multiple times. Now, before this was coming out, this was really hard to bring out, and it was really hard to use. But now you can use the effect multiple times. Okay. Use a Phantom Knight monster as its material. Now, the thing is, if this thing is destroyed, okay, can only be destroyed by card effects. If this thing is destroyed while it has a material on it, okay, you special summon it back out, and then for every card that is banished on yours and your opponent's side of the field, it gains 1,000 attack. So this thing not only bounces battle damage back to your opponent, but when they manage to kill it, okay, this thing goes to the grave, it's killed, it comes back with minimal, I have never brought this thing out, minimal, with 8,000 attack, 9,000 attack. I've actually never ran into a point where this thing was out with less than 12,000 attack. Now, I was playing up against a Monarch player at one point, and this thing was at 30,000 attack, and I had sided in this thing. Yeah, just can't be destroyed by card effects or battle, can't be targeted either. So yeah, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. If the targeted monster leaves the field, destroy this card. I mean, whatever. But it couldn't be destroyed. And the guy wanted to use the dark, what's its face? Return it back, and it's like, okay, well, I just went through the process all over again of summoning it. Brought out Heart Earth, and the guy just went to town, and well, eventually, you know what? Just this guy plus Breaksword. Breaksword targets him with no materials. Bring on another Heart Earth Dragon. Too bad I don't have two, but oh well. Important cards in the side deck. Dimension Guardian usually would be safe zone, but I'm trying this one out. Bubble Crash. So if your opponent has 6 or more cards, you can activate this card. Then your opponent sends cards from their hand and their side of the field. Okay, this is total, hand and field. Send cards from their hand and field until they have 5 to the graveyard. Dark Trapple. If your opponent summons 2 or more monsters, send them all to the grave. Then you send all of those monsters with those names in their deck from their hand or deck to the graveyard. Bottomless Jackpole, Skill Drain, Escape, Guarded Treasure. Discard 5 cards, draw 2, then you draw 2 for your normal draw. It's basically, it's a to get your Phantom Knights into the grave, and then it's basically Twin Twister targeting. So they gotta target it, but this is all side deck. Magical Stone Excavation, so return magic for the price of sending 2 cards. System down because of Cosmos. Second Allure of Darkness, and Phantom Knight's Cloven Helm. So Cloven Helm, every single time a Phantom Knight's cards are sent to the graveyard, he gains 500. And if he's in the graveyard, you can banish him and return 1 Phantom Knight's card. Phantom Knight's card from your graveyard to your hand. So that can be spell, trap, or monster. But anyways, that's the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it.